onto your mat. I'm so excited to bring you this virtual practice today from the San Pedro Creek Culture Park. The place I'm bringing you this practice is the Plaza de Fundación, or Foundation Plaza, which is the start of this beautiful art and culture park along San Pedro Creek here in downtown San Antonio that's funded by our partners who sponsor this class, which is the San Antonio River Authority. So I'm so grateful that you're here and able to join me today. Let's go ahead and unroll our mat and get started. We're going to begin today's practice in a nice seated position. And since we're here in Foundation Plaza, I have a class that's really designed for a basic foundational practice. So if you're beginning or you're new to yoga or just want to brush up on the basics, this is going to be a perfect class for you. So once you come down to a seated position, cross either leg in front, finding your nice, easy Sukhasana pose. And we'll begin just with a nice, easy meditation with the palms in the center. You can bring one palm over the other, thumbs can touch. This is called our dhyana, our Buddhi mudra, which is just a nice, easy hand shape that helps us to relax the shoulders. And then go ahead and close your eyes. Take a couple deep breaths all the way down into the low belly, as if you're filling the palms of your hands. Exhale to empty out. 2 more deep breaths just like that. Last breath, fill yourself up. And then go ahead and empty out. Now open up your eyes. Let's take a big full body stretch, extending your fingertips up towards the sky or the ceiling above. And as you exhale, go ahead and bring your palms together at your heart center, pressing them nice and firm. Feel the shoulders pull back. This is our Anjali Mudra, or our salutation seal, where we salute our intention for coming to our mat today. So go ahead and take your chin down towards your chest as you bow and honor this space you're creating for yourself. Whatever motivation brought you to your mat today, dedicating these moments on your mat to explore your own physical container, to cultivate mindfulness, and perhaps generate a little more peace. Let's take a deep inhale through the nose and a big sigh out. To come together in virtual community, I invite you to join me for the sound of Om. We'll inhale, exhale to Om. Your next inhale, open up your eyes, stretch those fingers all the way up to the sky once again. This time on your exhale, take your right hand all the way down to the earth. Inhale a little bit longer through your left side body, and then we'll start to bend over towards the right. So you'll see I'm bending my right elbow. Maybe that forearm comes all the way to the earth, or perhaps it just stays lifted. Extend a little longer through your left fingertips, but be mindful of that left shoulder. Try to shrug it away from the ears. Maybe you even turn your gaze up under your left arm here. Keeping both sit bones rooted, take one more breath into the left side body. Stay here as you exhale it out. Inhale, reach up through center. We're going to exhale over to the left side. Left hand roots, right arm stretches high. Exhale draws us into that deeper side bend. Once again, you're bending into that left arm. Maybe the forearm comes all the way to the earth. Perhaps you peek under that right arm as you slide the right shoulder away from your ear. Keeping the right sit bone rooted. One more inhale, stretch through those right fingertips. Stay for your exhale. And then inhale, extend all 10 fingers back up, reach into the sky. As you exhale, we're just going to take the hands down to the mat in front of you. Inhale here to lift the chest. And then as you exhale, you can walk your hands out as long as they come in front of you. Take another inhale with your exhale next. Just let that chin melt towards the chest. Deep breath in here. And exhale it out. As you inhale, begin to walk your hands back up to your shin, coming all the way up to seated. Bring the hands behind you, lean back, and we're just going to stretch the legs out and then recross them in the opposite way. So bringing that opposite shin in front, back into your easy Sukhasana pose. We'll inhale, stretch all 10 fingers up to the sky again. This time as you exhale, the right hand's going to come down straight behind you, almost like you're creating a second spine. You're going to inhale, sit a little bit taller. As you exhale, take that left hand over to your right knee, and then you're going to use that leverage to start twisting open. So again, inhale, you're pressing into that right hand, finding length. As you exhale, you're twisting over. You can deepen this by taking the chin back to look over that right shoulder. One more inhale, sit taller. And exhale, ring it out. As you inhale, start to recenter your chest, drawing all 10 fingers up towards the sky again. This time it's the left hand as you exhale that's going to come behind you. Inhale, reaching tall, getting long, pressing into those left fingertips. As you exhale, right hand to left knee, leverage it into that twist. So inhale, sitting up nice and tall. Exhale, you twist. Again, perhaps taking your chin back to look over that left shoulder. One more inhale, and exhale, twist. On your next inhale, all 10 fingers back up to the sky, return to center. And then on the exhale, hands come down in front of you. Take an inhale, get the heart long. As you exhale, walk your hands to your maximum stretch here. And let the head melt down, chin to chest. Deep breath in. And exhale it out. One more big breath in. And empty out. Your next inhale, begin to walk your hands all the way back to bring yourself upright. Leaning back into the hands. This time you're going to take your legs out. Maybe you kind of just take them to one side and you're going to make your way onto your child's pose. So coming onto the shins, bringing your knees wide, big toes together. You're going to bow down, bringing the forehead to the ground and extending the arms out to the front of your mat. It's a great place to really feel safe and grounded. So take a moment to feel that security of this child's pose. Knowing that throughout this practice, this is a place that is always safe to come to reground your busy mind, to rediscover your breath, and remind yourself of your intention for this practice. Using your next inhale, press in through the palms, begin to lift yourself up into a simple tabletop pose. So you're going to place those wrists right under your shoulders, knees right underneath the hips, and then inhale to really arch the spine. As you let the belly drop, the gaze is going to lift up, rolling those shoulders away from your ears. And then as you exhale, chin rolls to the chest, tailbone tucks. You really round the back of your heart to the sky. Inhale, belly drops down, gaze lifts up. Exhale, tuck and round. Inhale, belly drop, gaze up. Exhale, tuck and round. More inhale, belly down, gaze up. Exhale to tuck and round. Inhale, find a neutral spine here. You're going to take the right toes back, but leave them on the mat. Leave them nice and tucked. And you're just going to lean back into that back foot. So you feel a stretch in the back of the right leg as you lean back a moment here. Take a couple breaths. Just feeling the length and extension of that right heel. And as you exhale, go ahead and bring the right knee to meet the left. And take your left toes back, keeping them tucked. And then press back into the ball of that left foot, letting the heel extend really long. waking up the back of your legs. And then you'll bend that left knee back to come underneath the right. Take an inhale, look forward. We're gonna walk your hands forward. Keep your hips over your knees to find puppy pose. So bringing the forehead to the ground, arms extended long. So this is a nice stretch in the shoulders and the armpits and heart. If it's too much in your shoulders, you can bend an elbow or maybe both elbows and let your forehead rest on the forearms. And taking a moment here, allowing the heart space to melt back towards the thighs. Deep breath in and exhale out. All right, next inhale, begin to lift up your chest. Maybe walk the hands a little closer towards you. We're gonna find our first down dog here. So you're gonna tuck your toes, begin to lift your knees, and then that same movement as puppy pose, you're melting your heart back towards your legs, creating that upside down V shape. Now you can bend one knee, pressing the opposite heel down a couple times, walking your dog out here. Just waking up your legs. And then settling both heels towards the mat. Take a moment to notice if your shoulders are squeezing against your ears. Can you soften some space there? Let your head dangle. Let's take one more full breath in. Exhale it out. Go ahead and gaze to the top of your mat and begin to walk your feet all the way to meet your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. So feet are going to be about hip width distance apart. As you exhale, nice generous bend in the knees. You're bringing the belly to match the thighs for a nice ragdoll. So you can let your fingertips drape towards the ground, or perhaps you bend the arms, grabbing onto opposite elbows, allowing that weight to drag you down. Maybe sway side to side or front to back. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. And then go ahead and release the fingertips towards the ground. As you inhale, take a nice flat back. Hands can come to the shins or maybe all the way up to the thighs. You're wanting to roll the shoulder back and pretend like you're trying to create a tabletop or like a little place to set a tray on your back. Let's take one more inhale here. Exhale, melt your chest all the way down. On your inhale, stretch all the way up, bringing your fingers to touch. Maybe the hands stay hip width distance apart. Bring your right hand on your right hip. Let's take an inhale to that left side. As you exhale, take a side body stretch, reaching up and over through those left fingertips. Another inhale and exhale here. On your next inhale, as you stretch up, the right hand meets the left hand meets the hip. Inhale for length. And the exhale, side body stretch, opening up the right side this time. Another deep breath in. Stay for your exhale. Inhale, left arm meets the right. Big upward salute, stretch fingertips to the sky. And then exhale, swan dive back down into that forward fold. Find your fingertips on the ground, even if you need to bend the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms on your mat. Step your feet to the back of your mat. You're going to find a high push-up or high plank, which can also be done on the knees. In either place, plug the shoulders away from the ears. Let's take one more breath, really find that fire. And as you exhale, lower down all the way to your belly. So the hand should be hugged in right next to the rib cage. Elbows are squeezing towards one another. On an inhale, lift into low cobra, opening the front of the chest, squeezing those elbows in. And exhale, lower back. Making your way back into that downward dog shape, tuck the toes and lift your hips up and back. We'll take 3 breaths here. So deep breath in. Exhale it out. Deep breath in. Empty out. One more big breath. And let it all out, get empty. Quietly tiptoe to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to thighs or shins. Exhale, bow it down. Inhale, let's stretch it all the way up, fingertips high. And on your exhale, go ahead and collect your hands at that Anjali Mudra, that prayer position. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, we're going to sit the hips back into an invisible chair. So it's easy to let those knees come forward in front of the ankles. I want you to look down and bring your shins back, like you're trying to bring your knees over your heels. And then lift up at the heart, so a little bit of an arch in the upper back as you open that heart space. We'll stay here a couple more breaths. Hands can stay at the heart, or you can extend them long into your full chair position. One last inhale, really feel the fire here. And then exhale, melt down and release, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, heart long, hands to shins or thighs. This time on your exhale, bring the hands to the mat. You're gonna lift your left foot, step it all the way to the back of your mat, and spin the heel about a 45-degree angle. We're finding our warrior one. The first thing you'll do is rise, bring your hands to your hips, and we're trying to bend your right knee over your ankle, and then square your hips towards the front of your mat. So we're working on foundation here, so let's really get to the foundation of the feet. And that right foot, all four corners of it are rooting down, even that heel. And then the back foot, you want to press into the outer edge of that back foot. Really get strong in the legs. Once again, hands are on your hips, square them forward. You can always keep them here for stability. Begin to fire up the belly, lift the ribs away from the lower body, and maybe that allows you, we root so we can rise. Maybe that allows you to rise and grow a little taller into your full warrior one. Take one more inhale here. With your exhale, hands come down towards the mat, come to the ball of your left foot, and just step your left foot back to meet your right top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. All right, inhale, we're gonna rise all the way up, and on your exhale, find chair pose. Either leave the arms up or bring them to your heart. Take one more breath in, and as you exhale, melt it back forward. Inhale, halfway lift. On the exhale, we're stepping the right foot back as you fold, fingers to the mat, right foot back, and we're finding warrior one, feet on the other side. So rise up, hands on hips, bend your left knee over your ankle. Let's wrap that right hip around so both hips are square. Once again, nice strong foundation in your feet, pressing the outer edge of that back foot down. And as you find that strength, that stability, that root, we begin to fire up and we rise, we grow. Our branches perhaps extend up overhead. Taking one more breath, warrior one. Exhale, hands come down to the ground. You're stepping that right foot forward to meet your left. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Chair pose once again. Sit low this time before we rise. Choose hands to heart, inhale, rise, or all the way up. Stay here as you exhale, sit a little deeper. Take another inhale, and then exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold, hands down, left foot back, warrior one, right side. Inhale, hands to the sky. Sinking into that right knee, finding the foundation of the feet and that squared hips. This time, drop the hands behind your back and interlace them. We'll take an inhale and reach up through the heart. Really extending, open in the chest. And then we're going to fold forward as far as is comfortable or you're able here. Try to avoid resting on that front thigh. We're coming towards the inside of the thigh. And to intensify, you can let your head relax and maybe you bring your hands up and off of your low back. One more breath in and out. You have your hands off your back. Go ahead and bring them back down. On your next inhale, release the hands completely. Root through the feet. Come all the way back into your warrior one. And as you exhale, hands come around the right foot. Left foot comes to meet the right. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. We're going straight to the other side. Right foot comes to the back of the mat. Inhale, we're going to rise up. Hands can stop by the hips. to get rooted, squaring forward into the feet. Fingertips reach high just for a moment, reaching towards the sky. And then bring your hands to interlace behind the back. So I suggest trying to switch the grip of your hands so that you can try that non-dominant grip. It's gonna feel a little bit funky here. Finding that big open-hearted chest. Take one more big breath here. And as you exhale, begin to fold, coming forward towards your thigh, towards the inside of your thigh. You can relax the head. You can bring the hands up and off of your lower back. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it out. Release the hands on your next inhale. We're rising up. Fingertips are finding the sky. Full warrior one here. And then exhale, hands to the mat. Right foot comes to meet the left, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. This time, let's rise all the way up to standing, fingers reaching high. Exhale, thumbs come to reach the chest. Tadasana. On your inhale, you're going to begin to lift your left foot and step it back. This time, the left foot is going to be parallel to the back of your mat. The right toes are still facing straight forward, and you're going to bend your right knee over the ankle. We're making our warrior two shape here. Arms are going to come out parallel to the ground. Gaze over your right fingertips. Really bend deep into that right knee, but stay anchored, a nice foundation in that back foot. Beautiful. Gaze is going to come over the right fingertips. And then take an inhale. Turn your palms towards the sky and soften those shoulders back and down away from your ears. We're going to take a big scoop here, reaching up and back through that right arm. Left hand is sliding down the back leg. It's really easy here to want to straighten that right knee. So try to really be mindful of sending the right knee forward as you reach those right fingertips back. Finding this side bend shape we've taken a few times. Taking one more inhale here. Stay for your exhale. On your inhale, you're going to rise back up, warrior two. Start to straighten your right knee. Turning on your heel, turn all 10 toes to face the side of your mat. Hands come onto your hips. Inhale, reach your elbow tips back. Really get that open-hearted chest. And we're going to exhale, take a forward fold here, wide-legged, but take a little soft bend in the knees. We'll start with the hands on the hips, and then when we come down, hands can come to the floor to catch you. Take an inhale here, extend, and as you exhale, fold it down. Relax your head, shake it yes, shake it no. Fingertips can walk between the feet to get a little deeper. You can reach towards the ankles or outer feet. Really listening to what feels good for you today. And then bringing your hands back onto the ground. On your inhale, you're going to halfway lift, pressing the hands under the shoulders in the floor. As you exhale, stay here, just bring your hands onto your hips and using that nice strong core, rise all the way up. You're going to keep your right foot just like it is. Pivot on your left foot so that's facing the back of your mat, and we're going to bend into your left knee, creating your warrior two shape on that left side. So really bending deep into your left knee, anchoring into the outer edge of the right foot, stretching fingertips in opposite directions. And the gaze is over that left fingertip. Inhale, reach the palms towards the sky as you slide the shoulders back. Exhale, stay. Inhale, you're going to reverse your warrior. Right hand comes to the leg, left arm scoops up and back. Again, being mindful not to straighten in the left knee. Sending the left knee forward, left fingertips back, big side body stretch here. One more inhale. Stay for your exhale. On your next inhale, rise. And then straighten that left knee. This time you're going to turn your right foot back the opposite direction. So toes are facing away from one another. You're going to inhale, reach all 10 fingers to the sky in a big star shape. And then we're going to exhale, come down into goddess pose. Just get nice and deep here. We'll do 2 more of those. Let's inhale, stretch up. Exhale, come into goddess. Last one, inhale, stretch up. Exhale, come into goddess. Stay here, take an inhale. As you exhale, bring your hands onto your thighs, and we're gonna get deep here and kind of let your shoulders come up to your ears. I know I usually don't want you to do that, but we're gonna try it out here. Take an inhale. As you exhale, you're gonna bring that right shoulder in, and you're pressing on the inside of the right thigh. And then switch sides, pressing on the inside of the left thigh, bringing that left shoulder in. Inhale, coming back to center, and then straighten your legs, reaching all 10 fingers to the sky. As you exhale, bring your hands back to your heart center, turn towards the front of your mat, and then step your left foot to meet your right, finding your Tadasana. All right, from here, we're gonna find that nice strong foundation through both feet, and then begin to shift the foundation into that left foot. You're gonna let your right heel start to rise. We're finding tree pose. So tree requires a lot of stability in the standing leg. And if you're not quite ready to take your foot completely off the ground, just use it as a kickstand. Heel comes to ankle. You can bring it up to the calf, or perhaps all the way to the inner thigh, as long as we're not pressing directly on the inside of the knee. Hands come together at your heart center. So take a moment here, really establish that nice strong foundation in your standing foot. And you'll notice that it's not completely still. There's a little bit of movement that we have to constantly be engaged with in order to stay stable. Once you've found that stability really strong, lifting that left kneecap, you can press the right foot into that left leg. Maybe you grow your branches, so we root to rise, extending those arms up and out. Taking a moment here to challenge yourself and know that the point isn't to do your tree pose and stay there. It's to be wobbly and to continue engaging. So even if you fall, can you get right back up? So find a place where you feel a bit wobbly. Maybe it's closing your eyes, so that we can all find that edge together. Maybe it's looking up. One more breath. And then as you exhale, let's take the right foot down, kind of shake it out. All right, we're gonna do the same thing on the other side now. So finding your Tadasana pose, hands at your heart center, getting really strong and stable first through both feet. This time we're shifting into the right leg as our trunk, bringing the left heel to the ankle, to the calf, or to your thigh, wherever your tree pose is today. And then if I'm here and I'm not really paying attention, it's really hard to stand still. So with our engagement, not only are we grounding into our standing leg, but you want to find something to gaze at. That's our drishti. It really helps us to maintain focus here. Hands can stay at the heart center or reach up, wherever your edge is. It's not to find tree pose and just hold it quote unquote perfectly. It's to find an edge where we can engage and see how we can show up when life gets wobbly, right? Let's take one more moment showing up in that way for yourself, knowing that we're all in this together. One more breath. And then as you exhale, left foot down, shake it out. All right, feet come back together at the top of your mat. Let's take an inhale for all 10 fingers to reach up towards the sky. Exhale, take it down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, both palms to the mat, step both feet to the back, finding that high push-up or plank again with the knees lifted or with the knees on the mat. Take one more inhale, and exhale to lower all the way down. Inhale, lift the chest, squeeze those elbows in, and exhale, lower. Tuck your toes, let's lift up and all the way back into downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in here. Soften your knees, soften your shoulders, exhale. Inhale, look to the front of your mat. And then bring your shoulders over your wrists. And as you exhale, go ahead and come back all the way to the belly. This time the hands are gonna come back by the side body, palms facing down. You're gonna bring your chin or your forehead to the mat, keeping your head neutral. We're finding our locust pose here. So we're gonna fly up off the mat, inhaling, starting with the chest. Just lift the chest and shoulders. Now start to lift the legs. And when you're ready, start to lift the hands. So everything's fired up here, but we can try to maintain that fluid breath as we maintain awareness of what's going on in our container. One more inhale, lift. And as you exhale, go ahead and lower your right ear to the mat. You can turn the palms to face the sky. And just take a few moments to breathe here. Your choice to take the same back bend again, or find that interlace we found earlier in our humble warrior, bringing the hands together into a fist, getting a little bit deeper in the shoulders. Go ahead and bring your chin or forehead back to the mat. Inhale, lift the upper body, lift the legs, and then lift the hands or press the knuckles back towards your heels. Squeezing and lifting here, draw the navel up and in. Take one more breath, lift, 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 and then exhale left ear to the mat. Take a couple breaths to pause. This time bring your hands underneath your shoulders. We're going to take it back to that child's pose, bringing your hips back to meet your heels. Hands reaching out in front of you, forehead bows down. Long, full, deep breath. Your next inhale, begin to lift yourself up by walking your hands to your knees. You're going to shift your hips to either side and bring your legs out, bending your knees to the sky, and then you're just going to roll all the way down onto your back. Let's lay down onto your sky. So continuing our heart opening, we're in pose. So find your heels walking nice and close into your hips. So you might be able to feel your heels with your fingertips so you know they're nice and closed. We're going to inhale, press through the feet, start to lift your hips up off the mat. Just starting to feel that stretch in the top of the thighs, the front of the hip flexors. And now bend your elbows so the fingertips are facing the sky, but your elbows and upper arms are still engaged in the earth. So really press into those upper arms and elbows, start to lift your upper back, and then see if you can walk your elbows a little bit closer. You can keep your hands just like this. You can straighten the hands, finding that fist again if it's available, or maybe just grabbing onto the edges of your mat and like you're trying to rip your mat apart, really helping to get this nice open heart. Take one more breath in here. And then as you exhale, go ahead and settle your hips back down to the mat. Windshield wipe your knees, let them fall from one side to the other. And then go ahead and bring your knees into your chest. Getting some momentum, begin to rock yourself back and forth a few times, just feeling that little gentle massage on your back. And then you're just going to use that momentum to rock all the way up and pause when your feet come to the ground. So just to get a little bit more core engagement, since I'm right here on the water, we'll take a boat pose. So if you're new to boat pose, it's pretty magical. You're going to walk your feet in, start to lean back, and then you're going to lift your shins or your feet if they start to come off the mat. So you can keep them barely off the mat, that's fine, or even touching the mat. Perhaps they come parallel. And then really keeping that heart lifted is what we're focusing on, not caving into the chest. Hands can stay for support or you reach them out. Taking about 3 breaths here together in our full boat pose. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Last one, inhale, exhale. And then go ahead, bring your feet to the ground. Hugging in your knees, round it out. And then come to seated. Bring your hands back behind you, fingertips facing towards you. We're going to press into the feet and the hands and lift into a reverse tabletop. Lifting up the hips, lifting up the heart. And then as you exhale, bring your hips down. Keep your feet and hands where they are. Go ahead and take your right ankle and cross it over your left knee. If this is already too much, straighten your left leg, and you can just find that figure 4 seated right here. you have your foot to the ground, you intensify by drawing your foot in closer and using those hands to keep the heart nice and lifted. So this is our seated pigeon pose. We should be feeling that stretch on the outside of the right hip. Trying to maintain a nice open heart here, keeping the right foot flexed. Feeling the right knee gently press away from the body to intensify the sensation here. Taking one more breath in and out. Start to straighten in your left leg, and then just bring your right leg to meet your left. Shake it up. All right, we're gonna start with that right leg straight, left ankle coming across into that figure four, knee facing away from you. And then you can bend that right foot, bring the sole of the foot onto the ground, puffing up the chest, and then walking it in closer to find your perfect stretch here this beautiful summer day. Lifting through the heart, feeling that left knee gently press away from the body. Taking one more breath in here. Exhaling it out. Go ahead and allow that right leg to straighten and allow the left leg to meet it. Shake out both legs. All right, keeping both legs out in front of you, I like to kind of move my blessings out of the way so I can get, again, nice and strong foundation of bone into ground. Soft bend in the knees. Let's take an inhale, sweep 10 fingers to the sky. And as you exhale, we're reaching over into a forward fold. So if your hands don't reach the feet, no big deal. That's not the goal really here. We're just trying to reach the heart long, keeping that space in the upper back. It helps to bend your knees. You can grab anywhere on your legs. You can kind of pull the legs towards you to give you that engagement, to really help you get long in your spine here. Take another breath in. See if you can go a little bit deeper. Taking one more inhale. Stay for your exhale. On your inhale, begin to rise all the way up. And then with your exhale, we're going to begin to lie all the way back onto your back. Finding your waterfall pose, bringing the knees first to the chest, maybe rock side to side to massage out the low back, get a nice foundation in your sacrum. And then you'll just straighten your feet up towards the sky or the ceiling here. And you can rock side to side and bring your hands to rest under that low back to support your sacrum here, to support your legs. Maybe roll out your ankles, point and flex your toes. We're just reversing circulation. This is a really great inversion pose. You don't have to go into these crazy handstands and headstands to get the benefit of inversion. This is getting the benefit of having the feet over the heart. A nice simple way, especially if you ever do this and have a wall behind you, it's a really great place to be completely passive here and just allow some of that grounding energy from the feet to trickle down to the heart. One more breath in here and let it out. Begin to take the hands out from underneath the hips and just allow the knees to come back into the chest. Squeeze them in nice and tight. We're going to find our happy baby here. So you'll let your knees come wide, like it coming under the armpits, and the sole of the feet come to the sky. Hands come from the insides of your legs, and then you can grab the insides of your feet, the outsides of your feet, or maybe if you're unable to reach the feet here, you just grab behind the knees or the inner thighs. And then you can go from side to side to rock it out, finding that rocking motion, or perhaps just staying in neutral, feeling the sensation of expansion with each inhale, rebounding in the back body against the mat. Taking one last round of breath in through the nose and exhaling it out. Let go of your feet and go ahead and bring your knees one last time together in front of your chest. Hug them in. This time you're going to let your arms open up out into a T shape. And take an inhale here, and as you exhale, knees fall all the way over to the left side so that you're supporting the legs on the earth. Chin can be straight up towards the sky, or perhaps taking it over that right shoulder. Taking a few moments to just let gravity do the work for you here as you connect back with your expansive inhale and exhale. Next inhale, begin to draw your knees off the earth, back up towards the sky, and then over to the other side, falling to the right. Chin stays up to the sky, or perhaps looking over to the left. Allowing yourself to be held here by the support of gravity. And just watching that expansive flow of your breath in and out. With your next inhalation, bring your knees back in towards center, back into the chest. This time we'll take our arms and reach them up around the shins or the knees. Take an inhale. As you exhale, draw the nose up towards your knees. Squeeze into a tight little ball. Take an inhale here. One more exhale to really squeeze those knees in tight. Squeeze into a tight little ball. And then as you exhale, next allow the head to come down. Release the knees and allow your legs to extend out long. Making your way into a nice Shavasana space, palms facing the sky, feet opening up, flailing away from one another. And just connecting back with your breath and using it as an anchor here. So stay mindful of where your thoughts go, trying to keep them nice and peaceful for these last few moments without bringing in the distractions and disturbances of your day. Just anchor in, perhaps even saying to yourself to keep the mind occupied, I am breathing in and I am breathing out. It's a simple way to stay focused and connected to the purpose of this pose, which is to bask in the bliss, in the space and peace that we've cultivated within ourselves over the last moments we've had together. If you found that mantra, or you want to choose to ground yourself these last few moments, I invite you to shift. Instead of saying I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out, just say I am grateful for. I am grateful for. Let's finish our practice in this space of cultivating gratitude. I am grateful for this practice. Grateful for each and every one of you taking the time for yourself to tune in, to breathe, to move. I am grateful for this beautiful blue sky and the sunshine above. I'm just grateful for the ability to continue sharing this practice, this love with each and every one of you from wherever you've chosen to join me. Begin to feel the movement in your fingers and toes as you gently wake up your physical body, letting that gratitude extend into this physical body of yours. All the wonderful things it's capable of. Take your legs out long, begin to stretch your arms overhead, find a full body stretch. Knees come in towards your chest, hug them in one last time into that hug. And then roll over into a fetal position and use your hands to press yourself back up. Finding our way 360, right back where we began in this pose. Palms come together to touch and let your thumbs connect to your heart center. Reminding yourself once more of your motivation or your intention for being here. And sending one last moment of gratitude for yourself, for showing up, doing the work, and making it through this practice. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out. Bow the chin to chest. Let's honor those virtual class companions that are joining us from afar. We'll close this practice in a semblance of community through the sound of our voices in Om. We'll take an inhale through the nose, exhale to Om if you choose to join me. Inhale. Take your thumbs to the center of your forehead where we connect to our intuition, our wisdom, and that space of light that shines from within ourselves and connects us to one another. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Thank you for joining me.